vision is seeing something in the future. I'm looking at a property, I'm not seeing it for what it is right now, I'm seeing what the potential is and what it's going to turn into. Matt and I own Land and Legacy. People hire us to come and visit their properties.
On a daily basis, Adam and I will travel to properties, consult with the landowners, trying to get their properties improved to meet their goals and objectives, increase wildlife numbers, improve habitat.
God put me, a serious deer hunter, right here in the Ozark Mountains where it's tough deer hunting. I mean, it's cattle country, but I'm still here trying to improve the habitat so I can have the cattle, because that's never going to change, but still have great hunting.
When I was growing up, my family was big into farming and we were hunters. So honestly, I just kind of combined those two passions, and out comes a wildlife consultant.
I think his biggest strength is that he comes from the East Coast and understands that type of habitat, and you combine that with my Midwest knowledge and we can really work together to improve habitat throughout the U.S.
Well, today we're at the Prairie Hollow Farm. We're meeting with the landowner. We're gonna go over his objectives, what he wants to accomplish on the property.
It's 610 acres, about 80 to 100 acres of bottom ground, the rest is timber. Scott's owned this property for several years, and the only source of income he's had is leasing out the bottom grounds for cattle.
We've got a team of people who help us out, and we try to encourage and educate the landowners so they can go out and do it themselves.
We've got the big cornfield, it's like 22 acres right there. The first thing we always do with every landowner is meet with them, get a good feeling for what their overall goals and objectives are, look at the maps and see how the farm lays out. If you look at it now, it's just straight timber. There's no, you see that one little bitty opening?
That's the only break you see.
We're gonna add food.
Complete transformation of the entire timbered area.
The deer really have no reason to leave your
They'll
property.
stay there.
Yes.
This whole place is gonna change for the better.
Yeah.
After looking at the maps, we got in on the property and immediately we saw we needed to start doing some serious talks about timber management. But when you really take a big, grand look at things, you really gotta increase the entire property's worth, and that a lot of times involves going in and writing management plans for timber. A lot of cutting, a lot of chainsaw work, a lot of prescribed fire, and of course we do implement food plots, make every acre beneficial for the wildlife.
Kind of what we're talking about when we're doing a timber harvest. You see this big tree fell behind us. They've cut a few logs out of it, but tree fell, so it opened up the canopy, more sunlight came down, and you see all the natives, but all that's growing up just because of open canopy, more sunlight hitting the forest floor.
When you bring light to the forest floor, you've got much more food, cover, and you have this throughout your entire property. The big goal for me and the vision that Land and Legacy wants to provide is that your work and your conservation does benefit. And you have this goal of producing mature bucks or this great turkey population. What you're doing on your property, the practices that we're using has worked for us, and it can work for you too. My heart behind Land and Legacy and the kind of vision that I have with it is improving habitat throughout the country, throughout the Whitetails Range, help landowners get more out of their property, whether that be they're gonna have the chance to take more kids hunting or they're gonna be able to take their grandkids and see more deer. Build the great outdoors so there's more people getting out there and there's more habitat being improved, and overall there's just more conservation. This is the Land and Legacy podcast with your host Adam Keith and joined by Matt Dye. We're excited this week. We've had an awesome week releasing the first episode of Land and Legacy. We've got a big topic that we covered, and it's a big timber harvest on the Prairie Hollow property. Adam, I know you're really excited about this. This kind of one hits home for you coming up from the Ozarks.
And not only is it valuable for the landowner because he's making money, but it's worth more to us to have it cut and removed. So once that's cut, and we can go back in and treat those stumps to basically completely eliminate that from the area and allow the younger generation, the early successions of grasses and the forbs to fill back in. But a landowner, Steve from Rayleigh Creek, Missouri, that's got a few questions for us. So we're going to get Steve on the line and see how we can help him with his project. Steve!
How do I find a logger in my area that I know I can trust to make sure that they're thinking about the habitat
as they do their job, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. We get that question all the time.